biosphere reserves, right? Okay. Uh, Before we continue further, you tell me, what do you guys understand by a biosphere reserve? What is the purpose of a biosphere reserve?
Sir, can I say?
Yes.
It's a large area of protected land so that animals can live in their habitat without any disturbances.
Okay. And it is meant not only for animals but for plants also,
And tribal people also.
and the tribal people as well. Very good. So it's a large protected area of land which is meant for the conservation of wildlife, conservation of in wildlife, both the plants and both animals are counted. It is meant for conservation of biodiversity and for the conservation of traditional lifestyle of the tribal people living in that area also. Right now, okay, what are the three different zones of a biosphere reserve? Who will tell me? Yes, Khadija, Gauri. What are the three? What are the different zones of a biosphere reserve? We have learned about that in the previous class. There are three different zones.
Sir, I know them, but I can't remember the last one.
Okay, at least name whatever you can recall.
The core zone, the buffer
Hmm.
zone, and I don't
Hmm.
remember the last one.
Transition zone. Okay, so you have the core zone or basically the innermost zone. Then you have the second zone, that is the buffer zone, right? And the outermost zone, that is also called as transition zone, where human settlement should be allowed, cultivation of crops should be allowed. What are the characteristics of the first zone, that is the core zone? Will there be any human activities allowed in this zone?
No,
No,
sir.
sir.
No, no human activity, no economic activities will be allowed in the core zone of a biosphere reserve. Okay, what about the middle zone, where any human activity be allowed?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir, but not like that much.
Limited human activity, and those which are compatible with conservation, which will not disturb the conservation of animals and plants. For example, what kind of activity?
Sir, research.
Hmm, for research purposes, and limited tourism will be allowed. Yeah, for environmental education purpose, it will be allowed, right? Okay. Then in the outermost zone, what are the features of the outermost zone of a biosphere reserve? Yes.
Sir, human activities are allowed,
What? Okay. What kind of human activities will be allowed?
like building houses
Hmm.
and factories like that.
No, factories are not allowed there.
Okay, sir.
Only tribal peoples can build their houses made up of mud. Okay, now. So that will be allowed there. And they can do some other domestic works, like they can handicraft items. Our tribal people should be manufacturing handicraft items, etc. So they can do that also. They can do cultivation of crops as well. Then we learned about some of the important biosphere reserves in India. Okay. We're going to learn in detail about a Panchmari biosphere reserve. It is given in your NCERT book as well, right? So the Panchmari biosphere reserve, which is in the Madhya Pradesh state of India, the biodiversity that is found in the Panchmari biosphere reserve, it is kind of unique. The plants, the animals which are found in this Panchmari biosphere reserve are kind of similar to those plants and animals that are found in the upper Himalayan peaks right now. So the kind of plants and animals that are found in this Panchmari biosphere reserve, they are also known to be found in the upper Himalayas, upper peaks of the Himalayas. Also, such plants and animals are known to be found in the Western Ghats also. You know, there are two Ghats in India, Eastern Ghat and Western Ghat. This is Eastern Ghat. You would have studied about it in geography. And this is the Western Ghat. You guys getting it? What I'm trying to say?
Yes, sir.
So there is Eastern Ghat and Western Ghat in India. So the kind of plants and animals that are found in this Panchamani Biosphere Reserve, that kind of plants and animals would be found in the lower Western Ghat as well. They would be found in this region as well. Getting it, guys, now? So it will be found over here. Furthermore, it would be found in the upper Himalayas also, upper peaks of the Himalayas. So in that sense, it is quite unique. Okay. So same kind of flora and fauna are found in two places respectively. It is found in the upper in the Himalayan peaks, the upper Himalayan peaks. Next, it would be found in the lower parts of the Western Ghat. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Furthermore, like we know, like conserving the forest, conserving the forest and preserving them, preserving these areas is very important. Is kind of a part of our national heritage, since they carry a biological importance. Forests have got a big role to play in nature, so they have a biological importance. So preserving them, conserving them becomes a part of our national heritage as well. So also this Panchmani Biosphere Reserve will contain other protected areas in it also. Can you guys name some other protected areas found inside this Panchmani Biosphere Reserve?
Sir, Satpura National Park.
Good. And there are sanctuaries, wildlife sanctuaries are also found inside it.
Bori Sanctuary.
Bodhi Sanctuary, very good. This one more. There's one more. Panchmari Sanctuary. Panchmari Sanctuary is also found here. Okay, now. So it is known to it contains other protected areas in it also. Like it contains two wildlife sanctuaries and one national park. Two. Yes, Alef, how are you?
Fine, sir.
So it contains two wildlife sanctuary and one national park in it. What is the name of national park?
Satpura National Park.
Satpura National Park. Okay, na? So wildlife sanctuaries are Bori and Pachmarhi Sanctuary. And the national park is Satpura National Park. Okay, so hope that much is clear about it. Okay, now inside this, apart from this Pachmarhi Sanctuary, Bori Sanctuary, and the Satpura National Park, you would notice there's a reservoir called as Tawa Reservoir also in it. Can you note it down? Find it where it is. Here it is, no?
So can you
Tawa
repeat?
Reservoir. There's a reservoir also. Okay, no? There's a reservoir by the name of Tawa Reservoir found inside this Biosphere Reserve. So here it is, Tawa Reservoir. Getting it?
Yes, sir.
To keep that in mind. So these are the important features of this Biosphere Reserve. Furthermore, we are going to learn about their importance and their role. How are they important? What is the role of the Biosphere Reserve? So biosphere reserves are helping us in the conservation of wildlife, in the conservation of plants and animals of a given area. So thereby, when we preserve the plants and animals, when we protect them, so thereby you're also helping to maintain the biodiversity of that area, isn't it? So you're helping to maintain the biodiversity of that area also, right? So importance of biosphere reserves are mentioned in the following manner. Like it is helping to conserve. The biosphere reserves conserve the species, different species of plants, different species of animals. right? It would be conserving the ecosystem, conserves the genetic diversities and landscapes without affecting the inhabitants of that area. So in a given area, in a biosphere reserve, you will find animals of different species, plants of different species, right? There would be a different type of ecosystems in a biosphere reserve, right? There would be land ecosystem, there would be water ecosystem. Furthermore, genetic diversity is also seen. Genetic diversity basically refers to like two animals, two plants, their genes are different from each other. Their physical and their internal characteristics are different from each other. So in that sense, it talks about genes. So they have a genetic diversity as well, right now. And their habitat, the habitat landscape here basically refers to the kind of the area, the habitat in which they are living. So it is not just protecting the plants and animals, but it is also protecting their landscape, protecting the land from pollution or exploitation, right? So uh, that is what conservation of biosphere reserves talks about here. Furthermore, it helps in development as well. It helps in development in this manner that it ensures sustainable development, which includes economical, cultural, social, and economic development. Social, cultural, and economic development. Getting it? How does it do so? Like the people that are living over here right now. So biosphere reserve not only is meant for protection of plants and animals and the landscape, but also it is meant to conserve the traditional lifestyle of the people living there. So their economical activities are also being developed. So the we know that a biosphere reserve is jointly managed by both the local peoples, that is the tribal people, and the government. Local people's participation is also required to manage a biosphere reserve because they know that area very well as compared to the government officers. So conservation of biosphere reserve is important for the tribal peoples living there also because their economy is dependent upon that area, right? And their culture is also being preserved. Okay, na, in that manner. Furthermore, they kind of helps in restoration also. The biosphere reserves would be restoring any damage caused to the ecosystem and the habitat. So that is the thing about it. Furthermore, in education and research, like these areas, the scientists or the environmentalists that would be going there. So these areas would provide a lot of information on how to restore, how to conserve, and how to develop the ecosystem. Researchers that would be going there, the researches that they would be doing over here, it provides ways to create landscapes that have been affected by human activities, to ways to recreate the landscape. So they would be adopting particular measures in order to suppose they have gone over to a biosphere reserve. A group of scientists went to a biosphere reserve and they observed that area and they found out that there's a problem in this area, we need to fix this. So they would take some steps, they would plan out and take some steps in order to do that. So if their plan were to be successful, so they would apply that approach, apply that same plan in other areas also. They would be applying that plan to recreate other landscapes also. So biosphere reserves, when they would be researching on this area, so it would be kind of provide them with a blueprint of how they can recreate other landscapes also by taking proper steps. Getting it now? Furthermore, the landowners in this area, like there are some public institutions in this area, farmers or scientists that would be going there, or some small cottage industries and conservation groups that would be found in this area. All of them can work together in order to come up with a comprehensive approach, comprehensive solution right now. So the mitigation steps that they have to take in order to restore a damaged area, suppose in a biosphere reserve, in order to look after the needs of the plants and animals. So the scientists that would be going there, they would be collaborating with the tribal peoples, they would be collaborating with the conservation groups that would be found in that area, and then they would come up with a plan in order to manage that area, in order to manage that land. Hope you guys are getting it what I'm trying to say,
Yes, sir.
right? Okay, now furthermore, it contributes in making a healthy ecosystem. huh? So more they help in maintaining healthy ecosystems by preventing soil erosion, protecting water springs, and maintaining the decomposers to maintain the soil quality. Also, you guys know that deforestation impacts the quality of soil as well. Deforestation is known to impact the soil. How does it do so? Like deforestation is going to affect the quality of soil. We know forest adds humus to the top layer of the soil. Forest adds, you all know about humus, right?
Yes, sir.
Decomposing plant and animal matter, that is basically humus.
Bacteria and fungus.
Exactly, bacteria, fungus, all that decomposing matter of the plants and the animals as well. And humus gives the dark color to the soil. A soil having more humus will be more darker in color. So forest adds humus to the top layer of the soil, and their roots, the roots of the forest, the roots of the trees holds the soil together and allows the surface water to seep into the soil. Right now, it allows the surface water to seep into the soil. But due to desertification, due to deforestation, what happens? Due to deforestation, when you have cut down the trees, soil erosion is going to take place. Furthermore, physical property of the soil will change and it will become less fertile. Its nutrient content is going to decrease. Its texture will change. Furthermore, the water holding capacity of the soil will also decrease if there is no plant in that area, which may lead to flood. Getting it, guys? So that's why that's why over here it is mentioned that it helps in maintaining a healthy ecosystem by preventing the soil erosion. Getting it now? So hope you guys are getting it. Next, we would be learning about wildlife sanctuary, but before that, there are some endemic species found in the Panchmani Biosphere Reserve. We'll be learning about that one too. So let me quickly sum up the role of biosphere reserves. So role of the biosphere reserves are as follows. Helps in conservation of wildlife, helps to maintain the biodiversity of the given area, right? Furthermore, uh, it promotes the economic development of that area. Those kind of economic activities will be allowed, which is compatible with the conservation objectives. It's not like a steel and iron industry will be allowed to be set up there, huh? Or a chemical industry will be allowed to set up in that area. No, that kind of industry will not be allowed. Only those economic activities will be allowed, will be promoted, which is compatible with the conservation objectives. Getting it now what I'm trying to say?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
So this question is generally asked many times in the exam, that what is the role of a biosphere reserve? So let us quickly sum up this thing. Do you guys mention what are the rules of biosphere reserve? So far we have discussed. The first one, we learned that it helps in conservation of wildlife. Next,
So development,
what kind of development? Economic development?
sustainable development,
Very good. Economic development, or we can say it to be a sustainable development. Very good.
Sir, aesthetic value is there.
Aesthetic value. Yeah, we know that
Yes.
plants and animals adds aesthetic value to the nature. So in that sense also we can understand it. So development, in this there are different things, like you have sustainable development, you have social, cultural, and economic development. And they add aesthetic value to the nature. Very good. What else?
So education and research.
It will be helping in the research purposes also. Very good. So, education, like researches done on that area, would provide new studies to the scientist. Very good. What else? Biodiversity. None of you mentioned about biodiversity. It will help to maintain the biodiversity of that area, right, Khadija, Gauri, Alif?
Yes, sir.
Right now, so
Yes,
help
sir.
to maintain biodiversity of that area. Sustainable development, all of you understand this term now. What does it mean? Yes?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Define sustainable development.
Using resources judicially so that we give them time to get renewed.
Very good, very good. Huh? So it is an approach where
Sir,
we use the, yes,
can you tell one more time sustainable development?
yeah, sure. See, sustainable development, we can define it as an is a approach to the economic development of a given area, given population, hmm, without compromising the quality of the environment, without compromising the quality of the environment. And here we won't be using the resources in a we won't be exploiting the resources in a such a manner that it would be quickly exhausted. So we would be using the resources in a judicious manner so that it is left for the future generations also. So sustainable development, it's an approach to the economic development of humans. We should meet the present need without compromising the ability of future generations to meet their own needs. Getting it what I'm trying to say? Like suppose this much is the coal reserve, so it's not like you will use the 100% of coal reserves. You will leave some of them for the future generation too. So that is what sustainable development means. That means taking only that much from the nature which is required for you. Okay, now not over exploiting it.
Okay, sir.
All right. Now. So it helps to maintain biodiversity. Furthermore, it also like is helping to maintain the ecological balance of the nature. Now we have learned about ecological balance in the previous class. Yes,
Yes,
Sir,
sir.
can you repeat?
ecological balance.
Yes, sir.
Hmm. Okay, now. So that is the thing. Hope you guys have understood it. Furthermore, there are some important endemic species found in the Panchmari Biosphere Reserve. And in general, also we are going to understand what does endemic species mean. Okay, no? See, see in the Panchmari Biosphere Reserve, there are some animals that would be found in this given in this area. So talking about endemic species. Endemic species are those species of plants and animals that are found exclusively in a particular area. So these endemic species are restricted to a certain area. Getting it? They are restricted to a certain area. And endemic species are not found naturally anywhere else in other areas. They are not found naturally anywhere else in other areas. Getting it? Meaning that these plants and animals would be found in a particular area only, and then they are being called as endemic to that area. Okay, like for example, this giant squirrel that you see over here, this is endemic to the Panchmari Biosphere Reserve. It is found to be living in this area only. Naturally, it is found to be living in this area only. That's a different thing if you were to capture it and cage it and bring it to your home. That's a different thing. But naturally, it will be found in this area only. Getting it, guys? Okay.
Yes, sir.
So endemic, if there are going to be endemic flora, endemic fauna. Flora and fauna, you guys understand, plants and animals of a given area over the given time. So endemic fauna is going to include like the giant squirrel is going to be there. It would be there are some flying squirrels also. In your NCERT textbook, you can have a look at those animals. Flying squirrels are there.
Sir, flying
Yes.
squirrels like sugar glider. Like that?
Uh, like what?
Sugar glider.
Can you
Flying
spell?
squirrels like that.
Can you spell it?
SUGAR
Hmm.
Space GLIDER.
Okay, we're talking about sugar gliders. Yeah,
Okay.
sugar gliders are kind of different from it now. Sugar gliders, like when they would be flying now, they would stretch their hands and legs and kind of would look like a kite. They kind of look like this. Whenever they would be flying now, like they would fly and they would land on your hand. Like this, they are, I believe, yeah. So
Yes.
sugar gliders, they are a bit different from it, yeah, but similar to this sugar glider, you have flying squirrels also. Getting it now? So they are also called as like gliding squirrels. They call us gliding squirrels. They would also be flying in the similar manner as the sugar glider, which we are saying here. Alif, okay now?
Okay.
Like you guys have a look at an image of it. Khadija, Gauri, you guys have seen a sugar glider?
No, sir.
No. Many people keep it as a pet. See, this is what Alif is talking about. See, these cute animals. Okay, now. So similar to this, you have flying squirrels as well. See this one over here, exactly this one. So this is what a flying squirrel is. It is more of gliding. You understand what is gliding? Gliders, right? So it is more of gliding, not flying, but it is kind of gliding from one branch to another. So giant squirrel, flying squirrels, Indian giant squirrel and flying squirrels, bison, these are some of the endemic fauna of this area. It's another thing, like if you were to capture it and bring it to other areas, that's a different thing. But they are naturally known to be found in this area. So hope that is clear. Then there are some flora also. Some flora that are endemic to Panchmari Biosphere Reserve. For example, you have wild mango. Getting it? Wild mango. That is also a endemic flora to the Panchmari Biosphere Reserve. Apart from this, also we have some other endemic species also. Like for example, sal tree. That is also endemic to this area. So hope you guys have understood this. Sal and wild mango are the examples of endemic flora to the Panchmari Biosphere Reserve. And bison, Indian giant squirrel, flying squirrel, these are some of the endemic fauna to the Panchmari Biosphere Reserve. So first of all, you can define to me, what does endemic species mean? Yes.
The species which are only found exclusively in a certain area, not naturally found anywhere else.
Very good, very good. So endemic species are those species of plants and animals that are exclusively found in a particular area. So hope that is clear to everyone. Okay, now
Yes.
next we are going to learn about the wildlife sanctuary. I suppose we have time. Yes, we do have time. So wildlife sanctuary. See, wildlife sanctuary in this, first of all, you need to understand what does the term sanctuary mean. Okay, now. So sanctuary basically refers to a place of safety. What does it mean? A place of safety. Okay. So the term sanctuary, it means a place of safety. So obviously here we are, since the term is wildlife sanctuary, so thereby it means the place where wild animals remain safe. Although like almost everywhere you are going to see this, that wildlife would be used for animals, but wildlife, um, it means plants also. When we talk say wildlife, so it refers to plants and animals found in their natural habitat. But most often what you'll get to see that in the books, and in books and in research papers, you will get to see that the term wildlife would be more often used for animals. So don't get confused in that. Okay, no. So wildlife sanctuary, it means the place where wild animals remain safe. So it's a protected area of land which is created for the protection of wild animals in their natural habitats, like in the forest. And no hunting would be permitted in that area. No hunting would be permitted in that area. So it provides a protection and suitable living condition to the wild animals in the natural habitat. In a wildlife sanctuary, poaching of the animals, killing and capturing of wild animals, it is strictly prohibited. If someone were to do that, they would be charged under the law. Yes, Chikrika, how are you? You would be
So
prosecuted under the law. Yes, we are good. Getting it, guys. So it's a naturally occurring sanctuary. It's a naturally occurring area, such as it could be like island, it could be any other areas apart from island also, that would provide protection to the species of different animals, provided protection from hunting, from predation, or competition or poaching. Getting it, guys? Furthermore, human activities like tourism. So tourism is not permitted in a wildlife sanctuary. People are not allowed unescorted there, meaning that if people were to go there, like some scientists were to go there, so they have to be escorted by the forest guards. They have to be escorted by the forest guards. They can't go there alone. Getting it now? So the objective of having a wildlife sanctuary is to protect the wild animals from poaching, from capturing, from killing. So that is the purpose. Apart from that, one another purpose of wildlife sanctuary is to educate humans as to how to treat the animals, as to how to treat the animals. So here the animals are taken care of and they are allowed to live peacefully in their natural habitat. Hope you guys have understood it. So that is the thing about a wildlife sanctuary. It's basically a protected area of land, which is created for the protection of wild animals in their natural habitat. So if someone were to ask you definition, how do you define this? Basically, it's a protected, like in this image also, in this video also, you can see like how they are being taken care of. It's not like they are left on their own. If some animals are sick, some animals are sick or injured, they would be taken care of. Or if there's a newborn cub, newborn elephant, they would be properly fed. Or particularly the endangered animals, they are particularly taken care of. Getting it or not? So a protected area of land which is created for protection. What does the term sanctuary mean? Yes. What does the term sanctuary mean?
A place of
A
safety.
safe place.
Hmm.
A
Very
protected
good.
place.
So in their natural environment, like forest. So an important things which we have learned here: poaching is prohibited, hunting is prohibited, predation, competition, or poaching, all these things are prohibited in a wildlife sanctuary, meaning that a human can't do these things. It is strictly prohibited to do these things. If someone were to do that, they would be charged under the law, right? So in a wildlife sanctuary, animals live in a natural environment that is protected from the people. Also, some of the threatened wild animals would be kept in the wildlife sanctuary. Some of the threatened animals, like which are endangered species of animals, if you were not to protect them in the upcoming years, they might go extinct. For example, some endangered species like you have black bug, huh? You have elephants, you have um, like python, you have rhinoceros, huh? A pink-headed duck. These are some of the endangered species of animals. Getting it, guys? So they would be kept over here. They would be well taken care of, well feeded. Following in this image, look at these animals, for example. All these animals that you see in this image, all of them are endangered species of animals. All of them are endangered animals. Like you can see over here, like rhinoceros is there, pigeons are there, this red giant frog is there, tortoises are there. So to name just few of them, these are some of the endangered species of animals. Okay. So elephants, black bug, or you have white-eyed bug, you have a pink-headed duck is there, you have certain species of crocodiles. They are endangered species of animals, so they would be allowed to live in the natural environment protected from the people, and they would be preserved in the wildlife sanctuaries. Also, India, talking about India, India has preserved vast lands of forest and natural habitats for its wildlife sanctuary, meaning a vast area of forest has been particularly reserved for wildlife sanctuaries. It has been converted into a wildlife sanctuary. Getting it now? So there are so many wildlife sanctuaries spread across our country, and it contains a fascinating diversity of flora, fauna. Fascinating diversity is found in the different type of wildlife sanctuaries that is there in the India. So, like if we were to talk about the number of biosphere reserves that are in India, there are around 500 wildlife sanctuaries in India. How many? About 500. In fact, it's more than 500. Just to name few of them, these are the following list. These are the list of 7 important wildlife sanctuaries and the state in which they are found. Getting it, guys? So, seeing also, like India has got such a unique landscape. India has a unique landscape. Like India has mountain forest, it has bushlands, it has deserts, it has plain lands, it has coastal areas. So if you were to look at the geographical conditions of India, geographical features of India, it is quite unique, isn't it? Yes. India has got so many geographical features. They are plateaus, they are plain lands, they are mountainous lands, they are grasslands, they are deserts. Different type of geographical landscape is seen in India right now. So India has got more than 500 wildlife sanctuaries. Some of them are as follows, like Bharatpur Bird Sanctuary, it is found in Rajasthan. Chilika Lake Bird Sanctuary, it is found in Odisha. Chinna Wildlife Sanctuary in Kerala. Gir National Park and Wildlife Sanctuary. In Gujarat, you have a national park also and a wildlife sanctuary. Getting it? So Gir Wildlife Sanctuary or Gir National Park, both of them are found in Gujarat. Govind Wildlife Sanctuary is in Uttarakhand. Hmm. Madhumalai sanctuaries in Tamil Nadu, Periyar wildlife sanctuaries in Kerala. There are multiple wildlife sanctuaries in Kerala. So hope you guys are getting it. one more important wildlife sanctuary is by the name of Bori Wildlife Sanctuary. Can you guys tell me where is it? We have learnt about it.
Sir,
Where?
Pachmari Biosphere Reserve.
Exactly. So the name of the state is
Bengal.
Madhya Pradesh now. Yeah.
Yes.
Madhya Pradesh. Okay. So these are some of the important wildlife sanctuaries. All right now. So we have already learned what what a wildlife sanctuary is. Now let us learn that what is the importance of wildlife sanctuary. See, talking about the wildlife sanctuaries and why they are important. They are important for numerous reasons, for many reasons. Like they are protecting endangered species, first of all, right? Protecting endangered species of animals. Like, for example, can you guys quote names of some of the endangered species of animals? Give examples of
Polar bear,
endangered species of animals. Yeah,
polar bear, rhinoceros.
polar bear is there. That is also endangered. Very good. But I don't believe that we have
Pandas.
got any wildlife sanctuary where polar bears are being
The
kept.
Bengal tiger.
The Bengal tiger is there. Yeah. So you have
Pandas.
Sir, Macau. Macau.
macaw is there. Okay. Pandas. Very good.
So
And
black rhino tiger, black rhinos,
black rhinos. Very good.
and
Black rhinos.
not sure if it is there, but I think African forest elephant is also there.
Yeah, that is also there. African forest elephant is also there. Very good, Chakrika. African forest elephants. What about rhinoceros? Isn't it? Rhinoceros, right?
Yes,
Gorillas
sir.
are also now, due to the loss of their habitats because of diseases and because of them being hunted, they're also now endangered. So gorillas are also there. Furthermore, name some more examples. Give some more examples. Elephants in general are also endangered. Not just the African forest elephant. In general, we can count all the species of animals. So they are also endangered, right? So these are some of the endangered species of animals which we have. We have some more, like for example, like the certain species of leopards are also endangered, like the Arabian leopard. There are only
Sir,
very
Hmm?
few of them in
penguin
the
is
world.
endangered.
Is penguin?
Yes, sir.
I don't think penguins are endangered, because if you were to look at the population of the penguins, I don't believe that they are decreasing. Okay, now their population is not decreasing at alarming rate. So they are not endangered. Like they are, where are they found? Like in Antarctica,
So,
particularly, they are found. Mhm.
so then what about turtles?
What about
Turtles.
the turtles? Many species of turtles are endangered, so we can count them also. Particular species of them, not all of them. Okay, now
Yes.
particular, but most of the species are classified as endangered. Okay, now most of them are being classified as endangered, because you see that tortoises, they would be killed, they would be slaughtered for their meat, for their skin, for their shells, huh? So poaching is also going on. Also, like you would have heard about the nesting sites of the turtle. Heard about the nesting sites of turtles, where once in a year they would be coming at their nesting sites, and they would be laying lots of eggs in that area. We have nesting sites in India also. Huh? There are certain beaches. They
Sir, you're muted.
Sir, I can't hear you.
Sir, can you tell one more time? I accidentally leave. Sir, I can hear.
Yeah, am I audible now?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Actually, there was some error from my side. For how long I was not audible? Okay, I was talking about the.
Sir, I can hear you. Can I can hear you, sir.
Oh, sorry, it was turned off actually. Mhm. Okay, see, moments ago I was talking about turtles. We were discussing about turtles. Yeah. So what I say that the turtles are also considered as endangered, huh? Because they are being killed for their skin, for their shells, for their eggs, huh? For their meat. They are being killed. Also, due to climate change, also their nesting sites are being destroyed now, and due to climate change, also their population is under threat. Okay, now so they different species of turtles by their is now being um, classified as endangered. Hope you guys are getting it. Okay, now so
Yes, sir.
I was talking about importance of biosphere reserve. So it is helping us in protecting the endangered species. Furthermore, the wildlife sanctuaries, they have got some other rules also, like they would be supporting research in certain cases also. Right now, it's not like scientists are not permitted to go there. Scientists can go there, although they are not unescorted. They have to be escorted by the forest guards. Okay, now so they would be helping in research purposes as well. Okay, what are some other rules? Like they kind of preserve the nature, preserve the history of that, preserve the culture of that area, preserve the nature. So in that manner also it is contributing. Getting it, guys, or not? So that is the thing about the wildlife sanctuaries, that it helps in protecting the endangered species. It also, you guys know, like you can't cut down the trees in a wildlife sanctuary. So in a way it is preventing the deforestation also. Can't we say that? Yes, prevents deforestation. So everything is linked together. Like so if you have, it is meant to prevent the living, prevent the wildlife, wild animals. So thereby you can't cut down the trees now. Getting it? Okay. What are some of the important wildlife reserves we have discussed? We have talked about. These are some of the important wildlife sanctuaries in India. There are some common.
Bharatpur.
Mhm. You have so many of them, like Bharatpur Bird Sanctuary. You have Bodi Wildlife Sanctuary, etc. So that's all about the wildlife sanctuary. Now let us understand what is the difference between the wildlife sanctuary and a biosphere reserve. How are they different from each other? So here you have a wildlife sanctuary. On another side, you have a biosphere reserve. First of all, talking about the area, which one is going to be bigger? Which one is bigger?
Biosphere.
Obviously, biosphere reserve.
Biosphere.
Very good. So biosphere is a spread over a very large area. So area is large. Okay. So it occupies comparatively, wildlife sanctuary occupies a smaller area. Then a wildlife sanctuary is mainly for the protection of wild animals of the area in their natural habitat, right? And what about the biosphere reserve?
So biosphere reserve is like to protect the plants and animal both.
Very good. And here it talks about both, not just plants and animals, but it also talks about the local peoples also, right? Now we are going to learn about that also. Like um, in the case of biosphere reserve, local peoples, basically the tribal peoples now. Tribal peoples are also integral part of the biosphere reserve. They are all also integral, means that it's a unseparable or important part. So it's an important part of the biosphere reserve. But there is no such thing seen in the case of wildlife sanctuaries. Local peoples do not form an integral part of a wildlife sanctuary. Furthermore, what kind of activities would be allowed in biosphere reserve? And will there be any activity allowed in a wildlife sanctuary? Tell me.
No, sir.
Yes.
In
In the
wildlife
biosphere
sanctuary, there
reserve,
is
we
no.
can't.
Okay, one by one. Shakarika, you continue. Then Alif, Khadija, Gauri, others will also
Sir,
answer.
in the biosphere reserve, in certain places, we can't, we're not allowed to go in that places, or we're not allowed to do anything in those places, like
Mhm.
building the houses for tribals, or or cutting down trees, or using that area for any economical purpose or something.
Mhm.
But then apart from that, the other areas we can use them slightly for the economical purposes, or for the tribals in the
Mhm.
biosphere reserve to live.
Okay, good. Okay, what is that other area Chakrika is referring to? What do we call it? Yes, where you can.
Bios-
What do we call that?
Biosphere reserve.
No, 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 no. In a biosphere reserve,
Wildlife
you have
sanctuary.
no. You have got three different zones of a biosphere reserve. You have core
Sir,
zone,
core zone, buffer zone, and tourism tourist.
transition zone,
Like,
transition zone.
yes,
Okay. So activities like cultivation of crops or cutting down the trees for firewood, huh, or some activities, some economical activities which are compatible with the conservation objects would be allowed in the outermost zone of a biosphere reserve right now. So that would be
yes,
allowed.
sir.
Furthermore, like in the case of wildlife sanctuary, are there any activities like cultivation of land or building of houses? Are they allowed? Yes.
No,
Can you repeat?
Like any human activities like cultivation of crops or building of settlements, building of houses, are they allowed in a wildlife sanctuary?
no,
No, no, sir.
No, sir.
Obviously no. So building of houses or like cultivation of crops, these are strictly prohibited, not allowed. But over here it is allowed, right? Certain economic activities will be allowed, but it will be allowed in the outermost zone only, right? And that is in the transition zone. So that is the thing about it. Hope you guys have understood this. Okay, no?
yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. Many times, as a kid or as a kid, you would have visited a zoo, also called as zoological garden. Have you ever happened to visit a zoological garden or a zoological park? You might have visited. Basically, it's a kind of a large garden or a large park where different types of wild animals and birds would be brought from different parts of the country, and they would be kept there in cages, in enclosures for public display, for public display for fun. Huh? So that is what a zoo is. You might have heard of it. You might have visited it too. There's a zoological park in almost every state, almost in every country. You get to see zoological parks. So zoological parks, how ethical are they? How ethical it is to keep the animals in enclosures, in a cage? We are going to discuss about that in the next class. Okay, and are they in any way contributing to the preservation of animals, or are they exploiting them? What do you guys think? Zoological parks, do they hold any importance?
No, sir.
It's not like completely,
Yes, sir.
it's not like, yeah, it's not directly we can say that they do not hold any importance. See, if the animals, we are keeping those animals which are not endangered in a zoological park, and you are taking well care of them, and you have provided them with sufficient area, even if you have kept them in cages, like if the cage is sufficient for it to sufficient for the animal to roam around, then it is kind of, we can allow it. But if the animals are not being well taken care of, then that is unethical. Getting it now? So that is the thing. Also, a zoological garden kind of serves as a like children's, or people would be educationists would be visiting there just to interact with the animals, get to know them, get to know their behavior, get to understand about them. So in that purpose, in that manner, they are important. Okay, no? So hope you guys are getting it. So in another class, we would be learning about difference between a wildlife sanctuary and a zoological gardens also. Like how are they different? One basic difference, all of you can see that wild animals and birds in a wildlife sanctuary are living in their natural habitat, while in a zoological garden, they are being kept in cages, in enclosures. They are kind of living in an artificial setting. Huh? So that is the thing. So that's it for today. We'll be meeting in next class then. In next class, the chapter probably it will be finished, because there's just few topics left to be discussed. Just national park is left to be discussed, and what was Project Tiger in India. Okay, then what is tissue culture? How tissue culture plays an important role in conservation of plants and animals. You would have heard about tissue culture. Then why do certain animals migrate? How climate change is impacting their migration cycle. Okay, now so those things we are going to learn in the next classes. Then what is red data book? What does it contain? What are the different parameters in a red data book? All the things we would be learning in the next class. And be prepared in the next class, because whatever we have learned so far, there's going to be a small test in the class. Okay, now of 20 multiple choice questions in the class only. So that's it for today. We'll be meeting in next class then.
Thanks, sir.
So thank you
Yes,
so
you're
much.
welcome. Yes, bye.